Hello, hello, good morning, everyone. Hello. So if you're just joining us, you're welcome. Waiting for others to join. I'm sharing my screen very soon. It's a great morning here over in Nigeria. It's 10:01 a.m. It's 1 minute past 10, and I'm so happy to be here this morning. We're waiting for people to join, and it's going to be very exciting learning together this morning. So you're just joining, you're welcome. Let me just share my screen so you can see my screen this morning. Okay, so here is my screen. You're all welcome to this event this morning. Okay, so my name is Olayode Enoch, and I'm happy to be hosting you here this morning. And I'm waiting for people to join. And while waiting for people to join, I will just mute my mic and wait for some time. Welcome, Fatima. Hello, Fatima, can you hear me? Hello, Fatima, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Okay, what time is it over there?
Sorry?
I said, what time is it over there?
It's 11. It's 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay, which country are you joining from?
Just give me 1 minute. Yes, what are
Okay.
you saying?
Okay, I said, which country are you joining from? Can you just introduce us?
Mauritius.
Okay, you're welcome. It's nice having you here this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're waiting for some more people to join, and we start. Let's say
Yes.
in 5 minutes. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be here in a few minutes.
All right, so let's begin. All right, we're starting now. Welcome, Binga. Binga, you're welcome. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. I can say you're joining from Nigeria, from the name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting now. You're all welcome, and others will join on during the meeting. It's my pleasure to welcome you today. Okay, let me go to the next. So as we know, today's lecture is Introduction to Git and GitHub. Introduction to Git and GitHub. So I know some of us might know about Git and GitHub, but we just have to want to learn more and see much more about Git and GitHub, know more about version control, and then have a practical session for this lecture today. It's going to be very amazing, and I promise us we're going to learn a lot. So my name is Olayode Enoch. An Alpha Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador at Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Koko, Odo State, Nigeria. And this is very great thing for me, teaching people about tech. As I'm learning too, I love teaching people and bringing more people to tech and to know the good they can do with tech rather than do bad with tech. Because we have a lot of people out there who wants to learn tech just for the, let me say, fun of it, or just to make some things happen that are not very okay. But I think we can use tech to solve a lot of problems around the world, and that's what I'm pursuing every day, solving problems and bringing more people in to see the necessity to learn tech to solve problems. And I know we are all in the same shoes this morning. We all want to solve problems around the world, and one of the things to way to scale up in solving problems is to learn more. You can never know all. That's what I believe in. As a student, I know we need to learn more and grow our skills more to be able to solve real life problems later in the future. And I believe today is going to be one of the greatest events we attend this year. So you're welcome. I formally welcome you to this event this morning. So in a few seconds, we just go through the agenda for today. The agenda for today, we have the opening, welcome, introduction to Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, then introduction to Git and GitHub, then we have our practical session, then we have questions and closing. So I'm welcoming you again. So if you can hear me, you can just say I, your name, and where you're joining from once again. Can we have that? Hello? Fatima, are you there? I can see some people here. Domon Rami, sorry if I can't pronounce the name very well. Okay.
I am here, kindness.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Kindness from Nigeria. Who else do we have? Okay, Mr. Femi Adesina. You're welcome. Can you hear us, Mr. Femi? Okay. Sorry. Kindness, can you please mute yourself? Can you please mute yourself? Kindness, can you please mute yourself? Hello, Kindness.
Yeah. Hello, I am here.
Okay, can you please mute yourself? We've heard you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I can see a lot of people, Mr. Femi Additional, and a lot of other people joining us from around the world. It's my pleasure to welcome you all. We can use the okay. We can use the chat section if you wish to say anything, and during the lecture, if you want to add on anything, you can just use the chat section. So you're all welcome, and I know it's to be very great. Okay, so now let me move to my next slide. Kindness, please mute yourself. Hello.
Hello.
I said, can you please mute yourself? Mute your microphone.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So. Sorry. Sorry for that. If you're not speaking, kindly mute yourself. Is that all right? Mr. Femi, can you please mute yourself? Okay, I'm muting you already. Okay, sorry for the noise. And please, if you're not speaking, can you please mute your mic? Can you please mute your mic if you're not speaking? Okay. Firstly, we have an introduction to Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors. Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors is a program by Microsoft to bring up students to learn and to equip them with leadership roles by leading tech on their campus. We will visit the website and you'll see how you can join. I know there are some of us here that are Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors, and it's a very exciting thing, a great thing to learn, to find passionate people that are ready to learn and to scale up in the tech world. So finding your community is more important than ever as classes and social activities take place virtually. So you can amplify your impact and bring together your peers to learn skills, solve real-world problems, and build communities around the globe. Well, so Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors is aiming at building communities, especially students in campuses, maybe colleges, universities, polytechnics, to learn more about tech, and mainly you can become a leader at Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors. I'm going to show you that very soon, how you can join the student ambassadors by following the website, studentambassadors.microsoft.com. So if you want to join, maybe you want to join and make impact in your community too, you can just follow the link and join. You can join, you apply, maybe sometimes later we'll show you how you can apply and then come up as one of these leaders on your campus. And this morning, once again, I'm welcoming everybody from around the world, and you're welcome. Once again, my name is Olayode Enoch, a Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador from Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Akoko, Ondo State, Nigeria. So we can use this chat section if you want to say anything, and please mute your mic when you come in. Thank you very much. Okay, now introduction to Git and GitHub. We come into our lecture now, introduction to Git and GitHub. So firstly, we learn about version control and Git. Version control and Git. So we want to know about Git and version control. So what we learn in this section, how Git came about. We talk about repositories, talk about that commits, and then branches. Yeah, we're going to talk about 3 branches. So the first thing, how code changes tracked before Git. Okay, before the invention of Git, we have keeping of comments of files. You have to comment your files a lot. You need to keep different folders with dates and keep folders compressed. Okay, what does it mean? Before Git came about, before we had version control, to be able to keep a particular version of your software, you need to have a separate folder for it, and then make sure you store it somewhere. If you're having a new version, you create a new folder, and then you begin to have stacks of folders, and you have to compress them just to make sure you get them to a minimal, let me say, size, and then to be able to keep them properly. But Git came about and changed everything. You can see this man's laughing face. Before, he had to keep a lot of files, keeping track of a lot of folders, commenting and trying to make sure there's no conflict in his version of his software. But right now, you can do it with just some simple clicks on Git. Isn't that amazing? So we are going to be knowing much about that this morning, and I'll continue to my next slide. So how Git came about. Tracking code history and changes was hard and almost impossible before version control. Version control systems record changes over time. So version control systems record the particular change you make to your software per time. So you don't need to keep track of it yourself, having to comment, always trying to keep track of folders. Version control does that for you. Then we have distributed version control systems, keep complete history on computers of all contributors. Okay, so since the COVID-19 began since 2019, and it was very hard on many nations last year, 2020, most developers could not go to work. That means they couldn't go to work physically. So they had to collaborate on a lot of projects. And if you have been working on projects with people, maybe on campus or somewhere else, you needed to shift to remote. And Git control helps to keep complete history on all computers of all contributors. So if I and let me say Kindness, we are contributing we are working on a particular project, you can use Git to collaborate. And then when we begin to make changes to the software codes, I can keep all the history. I have all the history to everything I have been doing. He has all the history to everything we are doing on the software. And that's very amazing. It's very great seeing that you can keep track of everything you do, every commit you make, every changes you make to your codes. And Git was invented by Linus Torvalds in 2005 for the Linux kernel. And you can download Git at the link there. That's git scm.com/download. So you can download Git on your system. We look to that link very soon, and we download Git when we get to our practical session, and we have some practical session on how we use GitHub. Okay, let me move to my next slide. Sorry for that noise. Mr. Femi, please, can you please mute yourself? Sorry for that. I've muted you. Please, if you're not speaking, you can just mute yourself for now. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let's know more about repositories, project containers. I'm sorry, I can find some sound again. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now repositories, project containers, everything in Git takes place in the repo. So what's a repo? What's a repo? So a repo is also called, the full is a repository. Repos are virtual storage for a project. Repos are virtual storage for a project. You can just, like if you're working on, let me say PHP project, you have your XAMPP folder or your WAMP folder, you have your htdocs folder in your XAMPP folder for XAMPP, and that's a virtual storage for, like, maybe that's for your server. And repos are virtual storage for your project. So you can easily store your projects in a virtual storage instead of your computer. They may contain files, folders, and subfolders. Okay, so on your repo, there might be files, maybe your index file, let me just say your codes, the folders, maybe folders containing JavaScript files, image files, and so on. Then you have some folders, like you're having other folders in a particular folder. Then on Git, you can have unlimited repos. Then you can start using Git by creating a repo with Git init in terminal or on GitHub at https://github.com/new. So don't worry, we are going to be doing all the practical session very soon. We're going to be having the practical session very soon. So then repos contain commits and branches. So you can see this little button over here saying create repository. So when we get to the practical session, as I'm saying once again, we do all that. Okay, so commits points there are points in history. Commits are really project commitments. So what's a commit? A commit is a unique snapshot or save of the whole project at a point in time. So a commit contains a descriptive message, its author, date, and time, the commit was made. Sorry, I'm moving that person there. Okay, okay. So we can move on. Sorry for that. I wanted to mute the microphone that was giving us some sound. Sorry for that. So a commit contains a descriptive message, its author, date, and time the commit was made. So if you're making changes to a particular section of your code, or you're having a new set of, let me say, files uploaded, so you have a descriptive message, the author that uploaded, the date and the time the commit was made. That's amazing. So if there's any change during any of your, let me say, development process, you have the description already made for you by version control. Then commits are identified by SHA, that's SHA-1 hashes. You can have unlimited commits in a repo. That means you can make a lot of commits, make a lot of changes in your repo. You are not restricted to a particular number of commits you can make in your repo. Then you can commit by using git commit command in terminal, or by making changes and clicking commit button in GitHub. So we have an example here, this green button, and don't worry, we're going to do the practical session. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. And we are just going into version control and Git, knowing more about version control and Git. And we just spoke about commits, which is points in history, and they really help us to keep track of every change or changes made on our repo. Okay, so commits best practices. What are the best practices when you are making commits? Use descriptive and detailed commit messages. Use descriptive and detailed commit messages. Like, for example, if you made a change to a particular section, maybe you were trying to upload a particular result at some extent using, let me say, maybe JavaScript or PHP, let me say, and you had to change some variables there. So make sure you have a descriptive, make sure you have a descriptive or detailed description of what you have just done there, so that whenever you are getting back to that code, you can easily keep track of the changes you made. And then your commits must be atomic. Make small changes and commit. Don't try and make big changes then commit, because version control keeps track of everything you do. You can roll back changes, and it will be easy for you to roll back changes that are it will be easy for you to roll back changes when you make small commits. For example, when you change a big file and you had to you made a lot of mistakes and you have to roll back. So it will be very hard on you to be trying to code again. But if you make a little change to your code and it works fine, you can just make a commit, then go back to the other codes and begin to work on your codes, then make a commit. It will be easier for you then, because if you try and make big changes and then commit, if you have a problem with the code, you're gonna have to start again or have a lot of issues. Okay, so to avoid that, the best thing is just to make small changes and then commit. Then avoid committing unrelated changes. Okay, so if like you just change the comments in your code, maybe you made a typographical error and made a mistake in your comments, and you are committing that, there's no need to say, okay, I'm committing this or any other thing. That's just a simple thing. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Yeah, let's talk about branches, 3 branches. So commits are really project commitments. So we're going to be talking about branches here. So a branch contains any number of commits. A branch is identified by a name. Branches are commonly used to separate features and additions. And we're going to see that very soon when we start our practical session. And the main branch, previously called master, is usually used to maintain stable code in the repo. So once you create your repo, your repository, you already have a branch, which is the master branch. Is the main branch, and it's called the master branch. The name is the master, and that's where every of your commitments go. You can create more branches as you need, or when you are collaborating with other people, you can create more branches, and then you can work on that. Then you create a branch by using the git checkout FB branch name command in the terminal, or by typing a new branch in GitHub. So you can create a new branch using the terminal, or you can use the GitHub, maybe the software, or you can use GitHub web application. And then branches can be merged. What does merging means? Merging is combining two things together, and the only way you can do that, you can merge two different branches together. You can merge two different branches together. So these are branches. And then can you spare me 1 minute? All right, sorry for that, I'm back. Okay, so I'm back. So now this is a branch. We have the main branch, then you can create other branch and then do a lot of things, match the branches, the commits you have made in a particular branch, and then make sure they are working cognitively. Okay, now let's move to the next slide. So we have this particular slide, which is explaining branches. So it works like a tree. So we have the master branch, and then we have just a little feature on a particular branch, and then we have a big feature. Then what it means is that from that particular branch, you can have a lot of commits, and then merge them together at the later end in different branches, from different branches. Okay, so now we have another picture here teaching about branches. So at the top level here, we have the master branch. You can have volume 1, 0.2, sorry, 0.1, 0.2, and then 1.0. Then come to the development. From the master branch, you're making commits, you're making developments. And then from the development section, we have the admin panel and then the user panel. So you can have a lot of commits, a lot of, let me say, a lot of branches, and then you merge them all together to the main branch after you're done. So now, after you are done, everything comes back to the master branch, and you still have every commit you've made in other branches you created in the master branch. Okay, now, how does GitHub aid code collaboration? How does GitHub aid code collaboration? Okay, if you're just joining in, you're welcome. Okay, that's Kindness is already raising his hand. So when we get to the question time, you can ask your question. Hello, Kende. Hello. So you can ask your question when we here open to questions, and then okay, let's continue. So now, how does GitHub aid code collaboration? What we learn, what is GitHub? Difference between Git and GitHub. Then we talk about forks and pull requests. Okay, so let's get to track now. So what is GitHub? So we move on. What is GitHub? GitHub is a cloud-hosted Git. It is, let me say, the cloud version of Git. We have talked about Git, and now you can use Git. We can create repositories, create branches, and do a lot of things. But GitHub is cloud-hosted Git. It has extra features like fork, F-O-R-K-S. You can, from a particular repository, like, for example, you have a person who has worked on a particular project, and you want to maybe contribute or make use maybe work as a template. You can fork it to your own GitHub repo and have it as part of your repos, as a forked repo on your GitHub account. Then you can have issues for discussions on a repo. Like if there are issues, there are comments on a particular repo, you can make comments on GitHub. Then we have pull requests for merges between forks of the repo. So what does that mean? Pull request is after you fork the repo. Forking the repo means you are like copying the files from a particular person's repo, another person uploaded repo, and then you are bringing the files to your own GitHub accounts. Then if you make changes, like if you want to contribute like open source softwares, you want to just make your own contribution to the repo. After making changes, you have made your commits, then you can now create a pull request so that you can merge what you have done with the former code on the person's account. That's the meaning of pull request. Then you make a pull request, then the other person merges what you have done with its own codes. Okay, so if that's not understood, you can just bring up the questions later. You have the question section after the practical section. So let me move to the next slide. So differences between Git and GitHub now. You can see the logo for Git and GitHub. So what are the differences between Git and GitHub? So location, Git is on the local machine. Git is on your local machine. Git is on your local machine. And GitHub is cloud or web. It is web-based. GitHub is web-based. Then access. Git can be accessed through the terminal or command line. And then GitHub can be accessed through the web, that is github.com. And then we have extra features. See, we don't have much anything on Git, but on GitHub we have forks, issues, pull requests, merging, and a lot of things. That means GitHub is very great. So we're going to be delving into GitHub very soon. How to create an account, how to create new repositories, how to upload files, how to fork repos, and a lot of other things. So just follow on as we move on. So we move on to the next thing, forks. So to start contributing, you can fork a repo. After forking, you can have an exact copy of the entire repo on GitHub, from which you could make changes. That means you can fork a repo to your GitHub, and then you will have an exact copy of that person's repository in your own GitHub account. So, and note that you can also have a local Git repository and a GitHub repository synchronizing with each other. So what this means is that you can synchronize what's on the web with your local machine. That means you can actually clone your repository to your local system, make changes on your local system, commit, and then make sure you merge with what you have online. We're going to be doing that very soon. Don't worry, we're going to be having that very soon. So now, pull request. After making changes, you can send a PR, that's a pull request. So after making changes to a particular code you forked, you can make changes to the code. For example, if you are collaborating on a project with somebody, maybe from any other country in the world, anywhere in the world, I know you're not going to be contributing projects to maybe a project in Mars or somewhere else. Well, if you're doing that, you can just, if they can access the web over there, that was just a joke anyways. You can make a pull request after making changes to the code you forked, and the person over there, the other person can just merge after checking through your codes and sees, okay, there's no error, then you can merge the code with his own repository. It is a good practice. It is good practice in details changes made in a period. So make detailed, make a short detailed description of changes made when you're making a PR. Then pull request can be reviewed and corrected. I said when you make a pull request, the request is sent to the original person that has the repo, and it can make a correction and before making merges. And when merged into the base repository, the pull request is said to be closed. So once the person approves your pull request and merges your code with his own repository, the pull request is said to be closed. All right, so now we have, let me have the summary of what we have done for this session. Okay, so we talked about version control, which is indispensable. You can keep track of anything you are doing, any changes you are making to your code easily. Version control helps you to keep track of everything you're making, every changes, every commits you're making. And then a repository is a project container. Remember that a repo or repository is a project container. So everything you have in your project is saved in your repo, like folders, files, subfolders, etc. Then commits are unique moments in history. So commits are unique moments in history. They are when you make changes and you make a commit, like you're making a commitment and you are saying, okay, I'm giving access to this, I've changed this, and okay, this is a new, let me say, snippet or a code for a particular section. I changed this section or something like that. So you're making new commits to your code, and it's very great and it's a unique moment in history. Then branches contain many commits. We talked about branches. So automatically when you create your new repo, you have the main branch, which is the master branch. Then we talked about how to fork a repo. That means you fork a repo and you make a copy of it on your own GitHub account. Then you can make changes and commit them. Then you can send a pull request to contribute. So that's a summary of what we have done. We talked about Git and GitHub, and we talked about the differences. And can we move on now? If you are here with us, can you just say hi in the chat section? Hello, everyone. Hello. So,
Hello.
Okay, so are you with us?
Hi.
Yeah, I can't see the chat section.
Okay.
I am here.
Okay, that's
Actually,
great.
those who join as guests can't see the chat section. We are guests, we can't see the chat section.
Okay, let me just send a message through, and then I think it should pop up over there. Hello, I'm sending a message.
Hi.
Okay, hello.
Okay.
I'm sending a message so you can see the chat section. I think you should have a pop-up notification on your side too. Okay. Hello, everyone. So I'm just sending a message, and then you can see that.
Actually,
Okay.
those who are as guests, we can't view any message in the chat section.
Yeah. So can you see the notification?
No.
Okay, I sent a message right now. You should see a notification. Are you joining with phone or your desktop, your laptop?
Desktop.
Okay, so the chat section should be okay. You have received the notification, right?
No, I didn't receive. Actually, we are guests on Google on the Microsoft Teams. So guests are not. We don't have that option to view chats.
Okay, you should.
We don't have our account.
Okay, no problem then. You should surely see a pop-up now. I sent a message to everyone. Can you see that?
No, I can't.
Okay, don't worry.
No,
You can't, Abby?
I can't
Hello,
see
Chairman.
it.
You can't see.
Hello, I cannot see it.
Okay, no problem. I'm coming up with that. So check
example.
Hello.
Another one is so the difference between one to many and so on. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, now if you can see it, I will just work on how we can quickly talk. Okay, so I'm sending the message again. Okay, no one can see the message. Kindness, can you see the message?
I can't. It's not showing.
It's not showing. Are you logged in?
Yeah, I logged in.
Okay, because mainly he joined as a guest, and maybe that but no problems. We can move on. Okay, no problem. Hello, so I'm meeting you kindness so that we can move on. Okay, there's no problem. So if you can't see the chat section, maybe because you joined as a guest, there is no problem. Let's move on with the lecture. We are going to the practical section now. Okay. So practical session, I'm going to stop this slide, and we're going to be having some hands on let me say an hands-on workshop section. Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, firstly, I will show us the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors website, and then and then we can see some other things and then move on to GitHub. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Sorry, coming up. Okay, can you all see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay,
Yes,
so,
I can see.
Okay, so earlier when we joined the call, I thought. Sorry, kindly mute yourself. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so earlier I told us about the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors. You can just visit this link, studentambassadors.microsoft.com, and you can have a lot of things here. You can apply here. So sorry for that. When you apply, you have to upload some videos and some essays, give some information about yourself, and these are the plans of the student ambassadors. These are the milestones: alpha, beta, and gold. And I'm an alpha student ambassador, and I'm advancing to beta very soon. And you can see a lot of testimonials from people who are good ambassadors. There are many opportunities that you get as a student ambassador. You get to learn, you get to meet a lot of people from around the world and learn more about their cultures and a lot of things. And it has been amazing seeing people like Oketsu from South Africa, a lot of other people from around the world. So let's move on to GitHub.com. So we're having our practical session now, and let's move on to GitHub.com. So if you're following me, just go to GitHub.com. GitHub.com. So, all right. So I already logged in, but I will show you how you can create your own account. Okay, I'm using the dark theme. Sorry for that. Okay, let me just log out, sign out, and then see how everything goes. Okay, so when you get to github.com on your, let me say, browser, maybe on your laptop or your phone, you will see the screen, and you can, if you have an account, you can sign in or just click on sign up. So to sign up, it's very easy. It's very easy to sign up. I can just show you the sign up screen. So it's very easy. So you enter your username here, your username. I'm not creating a new account because I have an account. So I'm just going to show us how you can create a new account, and then I will sign in, and we create a new repository, and we do a lot of amazing things with that repository. We fork a repository and do some other things. Okay. So now this is your username. You enter your username here. The next thing is your email address after entering your, and then your password. And it's very easy like that. And then you verify if you're a real person, and you create a new account. So I already have an account, so I sign in. Okay, so I have my details saved already. So let me sign in. Okay, so once you sign in, are we together? Hello, Chima, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, so are you following up? Are you following up?
Yeah, very well. I'm following up.
Okay, Kodaldin, are you following up? Hello, Mujahid, are you with us? So okay, give me a minute. I'll be back. Just give me a minute. So if you're just creating an account, just try and create an account, and in 2 minutes we continue. All right. I hope everybody has created an account now and you are logged in. Okay, so.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're logged in. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. Do we have anybody who has logged in? Anybody apart from Chima? Anybody else? Okay, so then you're logged in now. As I'm logged in, then you click on new to create a new repository. You can see these are my repositories. You can see this sign. Can you see the gold sign? The locked sign means it is a private repository. Then you can see this. It's a public repository, and then this sign here means I forked this repository from another person, and you can have themes. Though we're not going to that now, but let me just go through how you create a new repository and how you upload files to the repository. Okay, now, so go to repositories here and you click on new. So now, once you click on that, either you're using a light theme or a dark theme, you add a repository name, the name of the project you are building. Okay, let's say we are building a project for Octal, maybe Octal front end, maybe a website for Octal front end. Okay, so you have a name, and then you can have a description. It's optional. You can have a description for this repository. You can say this is repo for Octal website front end design. So sorry. Then this is now very sensitive. You can either make the repository public or private. So public means anyone on the internet can see the repository, and then you can choose who can commit to it. And this is private. You can choose who see and commit to this repository. So let's make it public. And over here, we can have we have a lot of other functionalities like git ignore, license, or readme file. So I'm just adding the readme file, not adding git ignore for now. So you can use git ignore to choose which files which are not to be tracked from a list of templates. So now let's choose this. So automatically we have a readme file in our main branch. So when you are done with that, you have your repo name, your description, then you click on create repository. Okay, so now automatically you have this repository created. So there's nothing in this repository, nothing at all. So you can add files to this repository. You can bring up your files to this repository. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you a little work I've done, and then we bring it up here using the GitHub desktop software. So now we have the GitHub desktop software also that I'm going to show us two ways you can add files to your repository. There are two ways you can add files to your repository, and I'm going to show us the two ways that I want to show us this morning. You can use, if you're building with VS Code, you can automatically use the terminal there to create a repository and upload your files to GitHub. But I'm not going to be using that this morning. I'll be using the GitHub desktop software, which is faster for me and which I think you will enjoy. Then I will show you how you can add a file from the GitHub website. So if you want to add a new file to your repository is already created. So what you need to do is you click on add file. Sorry, something is coming up on my system. So okay, so you click on add file. So you can upload files or create a new file. So if you are creating a new file, that means you're going to be typing the new code. You can click on upload files. So now just going to be doing a random file. It's not necessarily a project. I'll be doing a project very soon. I say upload your files here. So you click that. You can drag them or something else. You can just okay. Okay, I'm coming. Let me just check for random file. Okay, I have this. Okay, let me just say I uploaded this. It's just a PHP file, a single file. So I can upload multiple files, but there are restrictions on there's a limitation on the number of files you can upload at once on the size. So I'm just going to upload this single file and look at the second method, which you can use to upload files by cloning your repository to your local system and then copying your files and making changes, which is faster. Okay, now so you make commit changes. The other time we talked about sorry about that, about commits, and we said commit is actually a great thing that happens in history, where you can just upload and make a particular commitment to your new project. So this is a new project, so we are adding a comment. So what are the files? So here we uploaded, so uploading about.php file. So now, to make sure you can track your progress as version controls are concerned about, you can make a particular comment here and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. Okay, the about page contains about the company and contacts addresses. You can just say contains information, about the company and mission statement. So basically, when you're tracking your project, you can look at on this particular date at this particular time. Okay, so that was grammarly trying to correct. Maybe I had an error in my typos. Okay, so now after you're done, you uploaded your file. You this is your commit. Okay, this is what I'm doing. You made the comment. Then you can now commit changes, and you can see this option here says commit directly to the main branch. I told us when we're having our section, our let me say theoretical section, that automatically you have a branch created for your repo. Once you create a new repo, then you can create a new branch for this submit and start a pull request, but we are committing directly to the main branch. So click on commit changes. So after clicking commit changes, we wait for the file to be uploaded. Okay. Okay. Okay, so as you can see now, our Octa frontend repository now has about .php, and that is my comment uploading about .php. That was the commitment I made. You can make more precise comments like about the website or any other thing like that. So this is a particular file that's been uploaded in your repository now, but we're not going to be needing this file because we want to upload array projects into this repository. We want to make sure our project comes up into this repository. So I can just delete this file. That was just an example of how you can add a file through the GitHub website, which I think sometimes might take longer as to upload if you have a lot of files to upload. But let's just go through the simple method, and we see some other things we can do with. Okay. Okay. So this is a particular code. I clicked on the on about.php, and this is a code for. It's a template too. So. Okay, so I don't need it anymore, and I want to delete. So I will just show two things you can do. You can do some things. You can open this file on GitHub Desktop. You can edit the file or delete it. So let's just quickly go through editing, and then we delete the file, and that's all. And then we go to the GitHub Desktop software, so we can really upload our full project. Okay. So let's wait for the text editor to load. So once you click edit the pencil button, you come to this page where you can actually edit your code. Okay, let me say, sorry, you see we're editing the code now. It's a template though, so I'm just going to edit some things, maybe make 2 or 3 changes, and then we move on. So while we're waiting to move on, I'll just share a link now. There's a certificate for everybody that joined this lecture. There's a certificate for everyone. So I'll give you my mail. Just forward your mail. Just forward the mail to me. Just send a mail with your full name and one of the certificates. So you get your certificate via mail. So once we are done with the lecture today, just send me a mail with your full name, and you get your certificate latest tomorrow morning. So if you are just joining, we are going through our practical session. We've created a repo, and we've uploaded a new file, and now we are editing the file we uploaded into our repository. Okay, so I think it's done. Now I can change some things. I can say Octa. I don't know, maybe something about Octa. And then maybe that was the only change I had to make, and automatically you have update PHP about.php as our commit changes. So I can do some other things, like I can remove a line, make changes to my codes easily on the web browser. Okay, and then after you're done, you can leave this empty. But if you make a very great commitment, like you made a great change, you can just say, okay, this is what I did. That's the comment in a commit, and then you can add an extended description. Okay, these are the things I changed, and this is the outcome that I'm expecting. So I can say changed site title. I can say, okay, I changed from site title to the site title from the Stellar Bootstrap template to Octa. So, but there's no need for an extended description until you're making a very great commit, and you need to put in extra details to make sure everything is detailed. Then once you are done, you click on commit changes. So you're making a commit now. So automatically, what commit does is that it saves your new file, and you have a particular tracking of what you have just done now. So, okay. So now you have this page now, as the title is now Octa. You've made a commitment. So, okay, I'm deleting this file, and we are uploading through the GitHub Desktop. So I'll show you how you can download GitHub Desktop. Just search for GitHub Desktop. Then search for your operating system. If you are using Windows or Linux or Mac OS. So just download GitHub for your OS. So it automatically dictates your operating system. I have downloaded and installed GitHub Desktop. So I'm going to be waiting for a few minutes for you to just download. You can quickly download. So just download for your operating system, download GitHub Desktop. We are going to be using GitHub Desktop now. So you can quickly download that as we move our, let me say, our project from our local computer to our repo created on GitHub. So I can delete this particular file as I won't be needing it any longer. Okay. So the file was deleted, and I can just commit changes automatically. I have delete about.php. There's no need for any extra comment. Then you commit your changes. So commits are always great things that happen in the history on your repository. So the file was already deleted. It was successfully deleted, and I said you should install GitHub Desktop. If you are doing that, let me just wait for like 2 minutes. Okay, and then we move on to GitHub Desktop software to upload our files. So what I do is that I copy this link. Sorry, let me go again. All right. So come to code over here. Once you've downloaded GitHub Desktop, I'm still going to wait for some minutes for you to do that. Click on code here and then copy the link. This is the link to your repo. So if I share this with you, you can actually see what's in this repo. So I can copy it or just click the link, the copy button here, so that make sure there's no error. Okay, once that is done, okay, I think that's done. And then I'm going to open my GitHub Desktop software now. Let's share my screen. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be sharing my GitHub Desktop interface so you can see it now. Okay, can you all see? Can you all see it? Hello, Chima, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Have you been able to see it? Have you been able to download GitHub Desktop?
I just finished downloading it. I'm installing it.
Okay, you're installing it. Okay, who else is installing GitHub Desktop? Mohammed Ali, are you there?
I have it already on my.
Okay, so, okay, that's great. We're going to be waiting for Chioma to download and install GitHub. And if anyone else is doing that, Fatima, are you there? Hello, Fatima, are you there?
All right, I have it installed now.
Oh, okay. Are you okay? Are you done installing now? Hello.
Yeah, I'm done installing.
Okay. Who else is done installing? Who else? Who else has installed? Okay. So, Damon, are you there? Okay, I think others are working on their projects. Okay, Fatima, are you
Yes.
done installing? Are you done
Yes.
installing?
Yes.
Okay, so can we move on now?
Yes, sir.
Please excuse
Okay.
me, sir. Are we signing in to github.com or to GitHub Enterprise?
No, github.com.
Right.
Okay, have you signed in now?
I'm signing in.
Okay, so we can all sign in our accounts to the GitHub software. So, okay. Are you done, Chima?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so are we on the same page right now?
Not yet, sir. How did you get here?
Okay, so now I think maybe I should just show. Okay. Okay, so now you have all these interface. You have the interface, right? Like file, edit,
Yes,
view,
sir.
repository. Okay, now so go to file. Is that right?
Yeah.
Click on clone repository. Is that right?
All right. Yeah.
So you already created a repository on GitHub, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now so you can just copy, go to the URL. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then you copy, the other time I copied the URL of the repo, and then you paste it now. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now. So this is the local part that your repository will be cloned to. Can you see? Document/github/octave front end. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can see that. I think others can also see it. Then once you are done, you click on clone. Copy the link from Git and make sure everything is working perfectly here. This is the local part. You can document github/octave front end. Okay, and then you click on clone. So everything on the repository will be cloned to our local system. Okay. You can all see that, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So now that is done, and I've been able to clone my repository. So when you go right here, can you see to the repository, let me say section, Octave frontend has already been chosen. Okay. And you can see it's loading up some information about, okay. All right, so we already cloned everything from the web version to the desktop application of the repository. So now we have it in our local computer. So I can locate it on my local computer. I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to share my screen now. So okay, sorry for that. Sorry for the noise. Okay, so I'm going to be Chema, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, so I'll just switch my screen and then open my file, my Windows Explorer, so that we can move on. And copy. I'll copy my files, everything from my former file that I created for the project. I copy it into the local repository I created, and then we can move on. Okay, so come in. Let me just stop sharing this screen. Okay, and then I share my Windows Explorer, so we can have the screen now. Okay. Okay, you can all see my Windows Explorer right now. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes.
okay, that's great. So I go to look at this. I'm going to copy every of my files from my local server. to the new folder I created, I cloned my GitHub repository to. So just go to XAMPP. Then that's where my files are. Then I come here. I'm just going to get one simple work. Okay, I think this work right on there. Sorry, that's WordPress. Okay, so let me just copy these files. Okay, and I don't want this my repo. Is that all right? Then I copy. So there are other ways we can really use that are simpler than this, which I will tell us of. So go back to documents, then go to GitHub, and then you have these two repositories already cloned, Octa front end, and then you paste your files in. Okay, so everything is done. So I've copied the file from the former files to the new file on the repo cloning that I made on my local computer. So I'm shifting back to GitHub software so we can really see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to be stopping the screen and moving back to GitHub desktop application, so the software. And all right, coming. So I think we are all here together now. So, all right, so if you notice, once I copied my files, there has been 212 changed files. Can we all see that? So automatically GitHub recognizes that something has happened to that cloned repository. So immediately that is done, you add a comment, like a summary of what happened, uploading files from local system, right? From local computer. And then you can have your description, maybe some other things you want to add. So I uploaded files from the local created software. So the clone repo. So then it commits to main. After making your comments, then you click on commit to main and you wait for commitments to take place. So let's just wait while GitHub desktop software does that. So it's going to commit everything to main. That's to the main branch. Okay. So let's just wait up a little bit while that is done. So generally, this should take maybe less than a minute or some minutes, depending on the size of your files and depending on your download speed or upload speed of your internet connection. So this should just be telling on the internet connection. It will be done very soon. And if you're just joining or you've been following along, we're moving very soon to the close of this session, where we'll be having questions. And remember, you can forward your full name to my email. I'm going to give out my full email. I'm going to share it on a slide very soon. And you can just send your full name to my mail so that you get your certificate from Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors AAUA for joining us for this session. Okay. So I'm going to be sharing my mail very soon so that you can have a mail. You can send your full name to my mail to receive that. Okay. Okay. So after committing to main, I will just give you my my email very soon. Layode@gmail.com. I'm going to share it very soon. So you can just send your full name and then you receive your certificates.
I can't see the email because I can't see the chat section.
You can't see the chat section.
No.
Okay. I'm coming. Can you see it now?
No, I can't see any notification from the chat section.
Okay, okay, I'm coming. I will share my screen and you can see it then. I'll share my screen so that you can see it. Okay, so now everything has been committed to main branch, and then what you need is to push back to origin. Is that all right? Is that all right? So now you have one local commit waiting to be pushed to GitHub. You have already committed to the main branch, but you have not pushed it to GitHub Web. So if you check GitHub Web, your files are not yet there. So just click on push origin, and then you will have it directly going to GitHub website. So let's just hang on a bit, and then everything is done. So everything will be done very soon. So coming. So let's just wait while that is done very soon. So we are at 94%, and it's going to be done soon. So we're writing objects, okay. So while that is going on, let me just share my my mail. Let me just share my mail, and then we check after that is done on GitHub software. Then we go back to the GitHub web application, GitHub on our browser. Then we can check the repository and see the changes we have made. So I'm going to share my mail now, so that you can send in your name to get your certificate. I hope you can all see it now. Hello, can you see it? Fatima, can you see my mail? Hello?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, so you can just forward it to my mail. I'm going to send it to the chat section too.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I think that is Okay, let me check if it is done on. Okay, so I will just share my browser screen and we'll move to the question section. Now you can, after that is done on your local GitHub, you have to be connected to the internet to do this. Okay, let me just keep that in. And after doing that, you can just go back to your browser, check GitHub and refresh the repository, and you see that everything you have done on your local computer, the changes you've made to your repo, but you know you have to commit and push to the origin. You have to commit and push to the origin. Then, okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, and then just refresh your code here. Just refresh, and you see now everything we did on our local system is now on the browser application. So you can see it. So everyone, if you want to get this particular repo, you can just go to this link. I'll send a link in the chat section, and you can fork the repo to your own account and then make changes. If there was a time, would have built a simple project with HTML and CSS, and we can contribute on that together. I hope we can do that soon, very soon, maybe later. But you can just go through that project and see some of the things I did there. It was for just a front-end application for a particular thing I was doing as an ambassador. So I think that solves all. I'm going to be sharing my screen where you can have our questions, and then we close the meeting. Okay, so I'm going to be stopping the screen now. I hope we all got to that stage where you can actually see what you made, the changes you made on your local system, and you can see it on your let me say your browser now. Okay, now questions. If you have questions, or there was anything that wasn't clear during the lecture. Hello, do we have any question? Hello?
No,
Okay.
no questions. So I'm having a going to have a class right now. So if I may leave, my class will be starting in a short while.
Yeah, we are finishing the next four minutes. Less than in 4 minutes.
Okay,
We are done.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So if there's any question you want to ask me, you can just hit me up on my mail, olayodeenoch@gmail.com, on Twitter @olayodeenoch, and you can just send your questions. I would love to review them as we learn together. And if there are any other methods, you know, that these things can be done easily, and one other things you can share with us and share with the community, I welcome them. And thank you very much for attending today. I'm really grateful, and I hope you learned something. Okay, so we are closing this session now. And then remember what you have done today: introduction to Git and GitHub. We talked about version control. We talked about the Git that is on your local machine. We talked about how it helps in version controller. It helps in maintaining your files instead of trying to have a lot of files in different places. Well, I use the hold method. I can just from Visual Studio Code, I can just create a repository and link that repository to GitHub. There was no time I would have shown you that. We can just have done that, maybe in consequent lectures where you can use Visual Studio Code to connect directly with your repo. And once you make any change, you find it in your GitHub. You can commit and make a push to your main branch on GitHub on the web browser. But I think you can just use this to upload files from your local system to your GitHub repo. And then we talked about forking a repo where you can just fork another person's repo, make changes, and then make a pull request. And if your request was approved, it is being matched to the person's repo. Talked about GitHub. We learned about how to create an account, how to create a new repo, how to edit, how to add files, how to edit files, and how to add files from GitHub Desktop. So I think that will be all for now. Thank you very much, and God bless you. So again, if you want to join the Microsoft Incident Ambassadors, you can just go to Microsoft Ambassadors. So you can just go to the website. I'll show you the website once again. coming. studentambassador.microsoft.com, and you can be an ambassador too. Thank you very much. So bye. So can we just take a snapshot? Hello, can you turn on your video wherever you are? Stop sharing my screen. Okay, so let's just take a picture. Okay, can you turn on your picture so that, or your video, so that we take pictures? Hello, just turn on your video so that we take a group picture. Hello.
Yes, I don't have the option.
Okay.
Because I'm your guest.
Okay, so it was nice having you all. It was great having you all. Thanks for coming, and bye.
The session was really interesting. Thank you.
Okay, keep learning, and we'll all do amazing things. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.